The first video lecture for this course is going to focus on the tools that we're going to utilize all semester for writing Java programs. The first thing we're going to do is look at the tools, how to obtain the tools, and then we're going to talk about specifically what role each tool plays in the development process. From there, we're going to move to actually write a program and get our feet wet and hopefully have a little bit of fun, and you can see how exciting it is to write a program. I think it's really cool what it's like to give instructions to a computer, what a programming language looks like, and also what the corresponding environment looks like that we're going to utilize to build a program. So the first thing I've done is I've navigated in my web browser, and I'm using Firefox, and I am at java.sun.com. The Java programming language is maintained by Sun Microsystems. Primarily, it's been open sourced lately, but Sun is still the driving factor in the day-to-day maintenance of Java, also with defining the standards. That might change over time because Java has become open sourced, kind of like Linux, and it's being worked on by a community of people. Recently, also Sun Microsystems, I believe, was bought by Oracle. I've been trying to avoid any type of tech, finance news recently. So that might also, if that gets approved and once that is finalized, some other unique things may happen with Java at that point. But today we're going to look at Java as it exists. It's a popular programming language, and it's something used pretty heavily in industry. So the first thing we want to look at is, what do we need to download? If you go to java.sun.com and you navigate to the main page, which is where it drops you off, you're going to scroll down a little bit, and you'll notice that at the top we see APIs and we see downloads. There are a couple of different options here, so I'll walk through and talk about these a little bit. We're most interested in the download called Java SE. Okay, this is the Java Standard Edition development environment. Actually, the first three things here in this list that start with Java are what are called JDKs, or Java Development Kits. Okay, so what does each one stand for? Well, Java SE, like I said, stands for Java Standard Edition, and that means that usually we use the Standard Edition development kit for building things like regular desktop applications. If you wanted to build an accounting application, or maybe an application to track your CDs, this would be the right place to start. Java EE stands for Java Enterprise Edition, and this is for writing network-aware apps. So if you do any online banking, applications that touch the internet, that need to connect to databases, I would say the bulk of Java development that I'm aware of, or my friends that develop in Java actually do enterprise environment development, because they're dealing with large corporate systems and interconnecting those systems. And then finally there's Java ME, which stands for Micro Edition, and this is utilized for resource-constrained devices. So if you've ever had an older cell phone and you've done some Java development or downloaded applications with it, like this would be the type of Java development kit that you would want to download for building those applications. This is not the same development kit used for, if you know a little bit about Java, Google's Android telephone uses its own SDK. It's all based on Java. Maybe later on this semester we can take a look at that. Anyway, let's go ahead and click on the Java SE link. This is going to take us to the Java Standard Edition download page. And you're going to notice that we're dealing with Java Development Kit 6 Update 14. So what does this mean, JDK 6? Well, again, JDK stands for Development Kit, because we are developers. We are going to write programs. We're not just going to run them. Okay, we're going to need to download the newest development kit. If we just wanted to run Java programs, we would go ahead and we would download the JRE, which stands for Java Runtime Environment. Conveniently, when you download the JDK, it also includes a JRE. What's the difference? The JDK is for developers. The JRE is for end users. So you will use the JDK to write applications. If you want any of your friends to run those applications, you would ask them to download the Java Runtime Environment. If you have ever run a Java program on your computer, you have a Java Runtime Environment available. And most of the time people have the Java Runtime available to them because it's been provided through their web browser, or at one point or another you've wanted to run a Java application with your web browser. So we want to go ahead and download Java Development Kit 6 Update 14. This is only for those of you using Windows. If you're using a Macintosh, you are going to utilize the most recent version of Java that comes with your operating system. When you're on a Mac, you don't kind of want to mess with Apple's system load, so what we're going to do is just go ahead and utilize whatever version you have. If you're running a newer version of Mac OS, you should have at least Java Development Kit 5, but more than likely you should have Java Development Kit 6 if you have one of the newer versions of Mac OS 10. Why is it called Java Development Kit 6? This is a little bit confusing. 6 actually stands for 1.6. The previous version was Java Development Kit 5, and that actually stood for version 1.5. If you look at older versions before that, they were actually called like 1.3, 1.4. This is kind of a case where the marketing department, I think, has done a little bit of damage to Java. So anyway, we're using Java 6, which really is 1.6. And that's the version of the development kit we are dealing with. So you want to go ahead and you want to download that and install it on your machine. Once you get Java downloaded and installed on your machine, if you're running Windows, even though it might not require you to do this, I would recommend rebooting your computer. Once your computer reboots, you want to navigate on over to jgrasp.org, and this is going to be the piece of software that we're going to utilize this semester for writing our programs. So the Java Development Kit provides the functionality necessary to build Java programs in terms of the Java Foundation frameworks and all of the underlying Java libraries, the pre-written Java code that we're going to need, but we still need a way to go ahead and write our own programs. And in this case, we're going to use what's called an integrated development environment. The integrated development environment, or IDE, that we're going to use this semester is called jGRASP. It is a very lightweight IDE. It is built for education. It's rather nice. It's not something you would see out in industry. But what is nice about jGRASP is that it's a really easy tool to get started with. Probably the most popular integrated development on the market would be Microsoft's Visual Studio. But that has some Java support, but not the greatest, and we want to actually utilize jGRASP for this semester. Later on, we'll look at Eclipse, which I think is the best Java development environment out there, and I really like that. There are tons of integrated development environments, and all they really do is provide all of the tools necessary to build a program from the user perspective. A good way to think about it is that the Java Development Kit, or the JDK, provides the stuff the computer needs to build the program. The IDE provides the stuff that the human needs to write the programs that are necessary to run. So in this case, all you need to do is click on the download link on the jGRASP homepage. You'll scroll down, and remember you've already installed the Java Development Kit and rebooted. And then all you need to do is grab the newest version for your operating system. If you're using Windows, be sure to grab that version. Mac OS, same deal. And also if you're using Linux or Unix, you'll know how to figure this out because I'm assuming you're using Linux, you know what you're doing.